so you try.
Right, thank you.
Yeah.
Hello. I just got done talking to my boyfriend about um why this computer is reacting differently and stuff. So I'm losing weight. Um yeah, I think I look pretty good today right now. Like the color in the room is different either. Or like my aura is different, so my skin looks different, my color looks different. But I like my makeup and everything. I think talking makes me nervous because just now this tightness started bothering me, and before I wasn't. I am burning a lavender in here because lavender is what my this guy that I really liked a long time ago burnt in my college room, and I really liked him. So I remember him by the smell of lavender. I thought it was strange at the time that he brought the essential oil of lavender. Um, 'Cause it was amazing to see him doing that kind of feminine thing, having essential oils like that. 'Cause he was like my teacher, my spiritual teacher, and I was just fascinated with any kind of magical thing, that he proposed. Um, to teach me to have in my facility and range of thought and access, for my magical abilities and education. And so I guess our scent is lavender. Lavender. It reminds me of him. And so all of the connotations, like what it helps you with and everything, was probably intended for me. So it's probably a special smell for me and him. So it's like burning right now. It's like at the end of it, because it's like a little cauldron and underneath is like a flame. And it's like sparkling, crackling, because it's at all the water evaporated, I think. And like, so the oil is just kind of crackling. Yeah. And I got a new candle the other day. Um, Having a new candle is like a totally new experience that I like kept forgetting about, like what it's like to get a new candle and stuff. Is like a new addition to your family of ritual, kind of, because it always feels different. Each one feels different, especially if it's special looking or smelling or special to you, because it will make your magic different, because it's a part of your recipe, and so everything that's a part of your recipe goes into your magic. And so right now I have it's kind of like a teacup candle, I guess they would say. It's orange yellow, and so I think it's kind of like orangey flavored, scented. So it's not from the dollar store. I get a lot of my candles from the dollar store. They used to have better deals than they do now. They had so many varieties, and they were just like odd. That's why I got them, because there were so many variations, and they were only $1. But now the good store doesn't have them anymore, and another store only has a few. I got the cauldron thing. Oh crap. Oh, I have a chiropractic at 3, so I was like, is it 3 o'clock yet? Obviously it's not. So, yeah. Obviously it's me. Okay. Yeah, it's 1:14 p.m. where I'm at. Uh, Idaho. It's a great place. It reminds me of like Indians in the desert and stuff. It's kind of dry. So it's like dry personalities. There's no like wetness or expression for no reason. Spontaneity. Uh, it's kind of like a cowboy of the West, shoot 'em down kind of thing. Serious. Very serious, the energy. And when you're here and you're stuck here, you just have to accept it and play along the lines that it gives you. But I'd rather be in Washington somewhere, Washington State. That's where I was born. I love the rain. I love it because it's really depressing, and since the environment's depressing, it's natural to be that way, and so I won't like go insane when someone asks me why I'm depressed, because I just fit into the background. But when I'm here in this like shoot 'em down Indian cowboy thing state, Boise, Idaho, it's like crazy. It's like persecution. It's like, everybody, are you correct or something? I don't know, that's how I feel it. But and when I went like across the border to Washington State, I could feel the energy change. And when I was at college in Washington, coming back to Boise, I could feel the air, the heaviness of the aura from the name of it. From the name and the connotations and what people project onto this state kind of becomes into the energy field. And some people like it. It's their culture. It's what they like. I like Washington. It's like where I was born, and where I went to college and was like born a second time, actually, into this magical energy network field thing, into my spirit mate's eyes and soul. And it's really a cult over there in Seattle, I think. That's why I like it. I feel like I can fit in. Especially if I'm on my own with people of like minds, like perfection, connection, not with people who weigh me down. Because if they weigh me down, then, I don't feel at home. I don't fit in. And so right now I'm in therapy and finding out who I am and how to relate to others that are not like me. But I already know who I am, so it's pretty much how do I interact with people that I don't like, people that I don't agree with, and stuff. And so I just found out, that my therapist is kind of like straight, kind of like, unbendable Christian type. And, it just came to me. It's like, well, why don't we talk about sex for the topic? Because that's my personality, and, I've been giving all of that to her, to the counselor, and, they don't deserve it, because they aren't whores, and, I'll be that for them, because I got called whore so much in junior high that it had a huge effect on me. That's when I started my spiritual search, and I actually got many places spiritually. And so now I have to talk to these people who called me whores, which are the counselors today, and I have to own up to that name, because indeed I do believe that I have had more sex than the person standing right in front of me. And you know what? That claims my whole soul for myself. I don't have to make believe that they want to persecute me, because I'm already in my own energy field of great wealth, of whoredom and magic. Yet I say whoredom because I'm still angry. Um, you know, wounds can last a long time, and yeah, it'll be interesting to look into her eyes and come into my grounded self state and actually tell her like how I felt when straight people confessed Jesus to me, and like called me a whore. Those are the ingredients that I felt. It's kind of sad and bad. So I'm gonna work on like mesmerization, mind control of my own mind, and like moving objects in the physical, and like magic seriously when I get my head under control, when I get my perceptions of others under control, um, when I get my whole energy field unified into who I certainly really am. Because I am true and on the true path, and I know that pisses some people off, and that act of pissing um, them off creates havoc for my own life, which is the magical path, a riddle in it. To have a straight path that is lucrative and you can move through. I'm just too smart for some people, and indeed that's a tool to make them not talk to me. Because if they talk to me, and they think I'm their friend, or if they're trying to be nice to me simply to curse me, to tell me that I shan't mess with occult mysteries, I don't like that, because I am in Idaho, and I am a pretty good magician, I believe. I have spirit guides all around me. Physical people come up to me and tell me things that they talk to me like they know me, and I accept that as fact that the universe is beautiful. And the counselor shall look at me and call me an idiot, which is likened to slavery back then, when the slaves had to have Christian idols of their hellish paganism deities. It is a lot like that, and I'm a poet. So poets are quite legal in the United States. Okay, so this is called Magic Working in the Year 2011 Energy Field. And that's the game that I'm playing. The magical exercise of legality and sanity through creativity, chaos, and power, which is magic. It's a great mix of ingredients. I called the counselor today to make an appointment with Amber. Not on Thursday, because this man has spiritual classes every Thursday sometimes, and so I want to keep that free. So it's this Friday the 9th, I believe, and at like 1 o'clock. And her computer shut down right when I called her. I do this a lot. My energy does. And it's not my fault. It's not a fault. I have to burp. I think it's beautiful, and that if more people could access their power, then we'd have a lot more power on the earth, and learning how to deal with it justly and fairly for each different individual would certainly enhance ability to shake hands across nations. All that I say is a metaphor. It is chaos particles scrambled into a new configuration, and this is how schizophrenics, mental patients speak, and therefore I'm sticking up for them, as I am a student of magic and know sanity through the sounds of insanity, and that's chaos magic. And I do have valid teachers, so I feel justified and not scared and guilty, because I have someone to look up to that looks down on me and smiles. And that's justification for finding one's own way, I believe, is having that teacher. But if you're worried because you don't have a teacher, that's cool, because he's never with me physically. We're twin flames, so we're one with each other across any distance you can imagine. We may have even just met for like 2 months out of 2,000 years. And still, I'm so much better. What I meant by that is maybe we won't even meet for another 2,000 years because the energy is so poor compared to our togetherness, and that means that we can't be together because it doesn't support that relationship. But still, my energy and my soul and my love is infinitely more connected to God, the universe, and truth than it was before I met him. So if I were to even live 1,000 years without Jonathan, I'd still feel him, and I'd still feel love and learning, because I don't know this system of energy that I'm in right now, because I'm very new to it. So I could learn for 1,000 years and never see him, which is my self, my twin flame. It's like looking at yourself in a mirror. That's what I believe, and that's what I felt. I think that everyone can feel their own way. And doing so shall expand the universe in its own desired direction. Now we're getting into organization. I don't want to do that because it's so misunderstandable, as people think that higher up and authority means better than. But you know what? If there was a pole, better than and higher could be right here. Lesser than and the word lower could be right here. It doesn't mean that they're equal to each other. Yes is not equal to the word numerically, the value of the letters don't look the same. They are not the same. And for the in-depth seeker of his own conscious self, of what he attributes to those words, they're definitely not the same then when you add your own self into the equation. Because maybe I think of as like someone that wants to ignore me. And when I hear the word yes, I think of conformity, unwillingness, yet you comply. Those are different connotations that I myself have, and I believe each self is a part of the equation of the universe. So, I don't equate yes and the same, even though you may have heard me say that they're both negative to me. Indeed, each story is different. This is a way of looking at colors and values in a peaceful manner, and it's a part of my training as a magician, because it's serious business and you can't really lie. You have to stand up for what you know is right, and if someone corrects you, still you understand what is right, even as the correction is made. For correction can be made by a jealous man, it can be right, etc. What am I aiming for? I'm aiming for self-realization, and I don't honor jealousy, even though I may honor what is right. And so I look at the person instead of the circumstance, and that really helps me get along in the world and judge myself fairly and judge others fairly. Exactly. And I talk to the spirits more so than people, for I honor spirits more than people, for the non-physical is much greater than the physical. In my perception, I love floating around, being free. What? Okay, so each particle may be blessed with beautiful vibrations from higher realms. It's possible that a house can be blessed to feel good. Okay. Alright, so what else? I just find this stuff interesting. So I'm going to talk to my counselor, and I'm not going to be brainwashed into thinking that we're on equal terms, for we're different people with different souls. I simply feel guilty about being a full-blooded white person. I'm confused about that a little bit, for I believe my magic alma mater is of black cloaks, and I've heard of black auras, which are a certain level in this magical system that's quite honored, and so I'm curious about that. I'm curious about blackness. That's why I questioned whiteness, so I could be led to the blackness. It is not always about guilt. I I'm like tan and stuff, but it looks like I'm like pale right now. I think that's funny because the computer has its own energy and stuff. And if the computer world were to interpret the humanity and be like its judge, its guide, um, that would be interesting because it's likened to the thinking self, the brain. And if the computer is like the brain, then perhaps different energies should enlighten different thinking styles and modes. Different people, when they talk and express themselves, or however, in the computer's interface, that would be cool because, you're programming the computer too. It's an interaction. All the universe. It's kind of like shamanism, like seeing, interacting with weird types of matter, and stuff. I'm like, I believe that some people are allowed to be into shamanism, and not feel guilty and weighed down by law as I am, because that's probably what they're given, by spirit, by God. And I believe that also if I get this lawful system under my belt, and I don't look at persecution anymore, I don't have like feelings of guilt and sadness, then I'll be able to move on in shamanism, magic, and religion, and be at peace in these spiritual realms, and not feel so fierce. I simply want avengement right now of spirituality, the ability to see things. For all those suffering in this matrix level, the matrix level of the law, and doing the right thing, and sanity, etc. Because that really concerns me, since people do get away with calling people like horrible names, and those people are sometimes looked at as the most sanest, beautiful, righteous, and able people in the world, and that really makes me feel bad. So I've sought my own way instead of going after them, because that's blind desire to punish them. And I do talk in drastic terms because I believe that's my personality. My soul is drastic and powerful, and so I see things drastically. Anything may have a drastic consequence, and that's pretty cool, I think. It's a powerful tool to me because, tomorrow, any day, the world could be bombed somewhere. Lives could end. And yet here we are persecuting people, that really don't concern our own selves. It's a story of chase and merry-go-round, and it keeps going on and on. How do you get off the merry-go-round? You go inside yourself. You may still be on the merry-go-round, yet your soul and spirit is somewhere else, and you are your soul and spirit, I believe, before your physical body. And so the perception of yourself on the merry-go-round may be seen by others, but not by yourself, because you'd be blind to it. You would be looking where you would want to look. At God, at a river, at peace, at eternity, at your own inner beauty, at how to express inner beauty into the world, into the merry-go-round world. How to talk to people, etc. I'm really attracted to torture as an energy. It really concerns me. Torture does. And I see steps that lead to that reality. And I don't even want to go down those steps, I don't want to go down them. And so I keep myself where I am, within, which leads me to a step that is not even with those steps. And if I see one of those steps, I just think about it. How can I help this? How can I affect it? I'm not going to. Intentions of helping others is beyond your own responsibility. For if one human soul is realized, that is so big and powerful and beautiful, it could affect the world like you wouldn't even know. Yet what if one thinks he is realized, yet others do not, and they're like, oh my gosh, that girl is weird, or she actually isn't, and she's self-deluded. Well, it's a great dream to be realized, isn't it? And a lot of people probably want to be there. So I forgive them for desiring that and acting like that. I believe I have a responsibility to express miracles I've seen to other people. Yet I'm not going to go around preaching because, to people, just randomly, because that is not lawful in my experience. It's also very stressful for me because I may not be accepted by the others, and that just makes pain for me. Many people might do that, like homeless people or other church groups and stuff, but it's not my style because I'm very sensitive to how others feel. One thing in my therapy, sometimes if I'm really in my center, my voice gets really low, and it's very odd because I wonder if I'm channeling something or something, and that worries me. That might worry my therapist. She might go, Heather, why are you talking in a very, very low voice? Do you even know who's coming through you? And that worries me because I think that one should know exactly who is coming through you when you channel, know his name, etc. Have it like an official contract, yes, Do you want me to come through you? Yes, I do. And that should be what's legal. But this heavy voice has been with me since childhood. It is the grounding of my soul. It is the ending of all things. It is perfection, and its accomplice, hard work, no, peace. To me, peace is a very, very, very low voice. It is a voice that calms unto death. And may you rest in peace. Because I believe I would like to rest in peace. So if this low, low voice comes to me and talks to me like that, what it is, it's assuring me, though there's fear, it will take care of me, because life is fearful. So its voice is low and odd, making up for those things I don't understand, but caressing me as a mother would. Why do mothers caress their children? It's like a miracle that they got that child. It's a mystery, because they didn't know each other before they got there to each other. And that's what death is. It's a mystery. And yet if I talk to him now, I'm getting used to the notion of dying. In my world, it's very normal to die. I've met spirits, claiming to be people, like through the internet or whatever, talking about a very, very long life. And that interests me. And I believe I'm even up for trying, due to some of the energies I've come into contact with, some of the miracles I've experienced in my life. I believe that if God has given me this much, then why wouldn't He allow me to live a very, very long life? Miraculously long. I've read books about this stuff. It's stuff of fantasy books, mystery books, sci-fi. And, magic is interesting. If you put the two together, what'll happen? Does truth come out in the guise of fiction? That's what I'm thinking. This life, till when I'm 50 or something, I like to pursue music, because I love rhythm, and I love putting together different dimensions into art. It would be lights, rhythm, music, the human body presentation. It would be really cool. You can see it as, sound and everything. Like an opera rave, like a rave opera or something. Like really distinguished, but silly too. And also explaining a lot, but that may be too much for me, because you just have to let stuff go as material world exists. And some objects feel material and are material. And therefore that vibration comes out in art and music. And I represent that as the color red. We have red blood. So, it's like a tone of voice, red is. It's like a tone of voice in music, red is. A rest, maybe black, because we rest in death. And notes maybe like yellow, because that's happy and that's life. It's the life of the song, the music notes are. And yet if you're into music, you know that there's different feelings in the music song, and different tones of voice are used. And you can describe a color to each tone of voice. And it makes up the song. It's really pretty. It's so pretty that I have to be grounded into reality, into the laws of reality, so that my music, the sounds, don't like break my heart or something. But that's why I have a counselor, to keep me on track and in rhythm of the earth. Because the earth does desire to help those who are corporal and in the business world and laughing and loving and stuff. And that's why I am in the counselor thing. That's why I have a counselor, to keep me connected to that rhythm. Because I would just as well be off with a shaman, blessing other rhythms. I do indeed love the earth more than I would love the feeling of being in a counselor's office. Yet I don't believe I can truly let go of this lively corporal life, without truly saying goodbye to myself, to others, to the way things could have been, to the way that I am now. Without showing them that I am a true genius and that my reality is how it is, and I can connect the dots to the ones that called me a whore. That would be cool. Because then we'd be like brothers, connected people. I forgive you, etc. It's kind of hard, but I'm getting with it. So, I'm losing weight. My boyfriend's not letting me weigh myself every day like I was. So I'm weighing myself once a week. Okay? So I snuck a weigh-in like yesterday. And I was 227. It just pains me that it's not coming off like faster, but like I'm just with all these ideas and stuff in my head at the same time, trying to look beautiful by losing weight. And the two, like, oh my gosh, I'm like in heaven or ecstasy on my thoughts. And now I look like ecstasy because I'm fit. That kind of hurts, because then people would just think that I am ecstasy. I've got to understand why this human body is special and real, and why I should look pretty, if I am skinny. Because I do want to look pretty, that's one of my desires. I feel guilty looking pretty in front of people who have persecuted me for looking pretty. I'd rather have people honor me for my mind than my body. Therefore, black would be a lovely color for me. I would seriously think about that, but I am also seriously an artist, and color intrigues me. I'm not dedicated solely to occult motives, occult protection of the black color. But when I do wear black, it makes me feel very good. So if I'd need to wear black, perhaps I would do that. I'd use black clothes as an excuse for protection and expressing my occult emotionality and love. See, I like to label things so I know exactly what I'm doing. It also helps create my reality. All it is explaining exactly who you are and finding out what it all means. You know thyself is a axiom or something. But I do like color. See, I like raving. That's why I like color. Rainbows. I like rainbows. For a scientific reason. Vibrations of color. And I believe that, vibrations to the self are all felt different by each individual. And so the sound of someone explaining the associations could affect your reality negatively or positively towards what you thought you would love. If you find someone else saying the exact thing but differently, then you might think differently. And I just like to give voice to myself as someone who could relate magic to people in a voice that's not commonly heard. So a different choice may be there for people who need to have the choice. Yeah. What should I do now? I should probably meditate. I'm just waiting to get this stuff off my chest and start my magic practice with an open heart and selfless desires and love. But I do have a lot of weird stuff on my mind. I still meditate at least twice, 3 times a week, maybe. I don't even know for sure. It could be 5, it could be 1. I think it varies from week to week. Anyway, I'm feeling tired, so I'm gonna leave, and this is a really long video of nothing. So, oh my gosh, I got myself a venti. What's it called? Starbucks. A venti Starbucks. This is cool. Okay, so let's look at other stuff. For magical relevance, symbols. This is, I don't even know what this is, but it's a purple heart, which is cool. I love that line right there. It's a stone of realness something. It's a heart. Oh, I got it at this fair. This fair. Yeah. Cool stuff at it. And my boyfriend put it on a string because it's made for a necklace. These are both dollar store things. And I have this ugly pimple right now, and it makes me feel like a Great Dane for some reason. I don't like that look. So I think that I'm tired of talking now. I'll talk to you later. Bye.